So, hey, it hasn't been that long, but I guess I wanted to just do a video for you guys. It's been a while since I've done videos. Usually this is not my type of content. Usually I do shorts, but I wrote a slightly longer piece and I kind of just wanted to read it all the way through to the end. Piece is not really complete. It's something that I'm kind of working on, and I just kind of wanted to read a small part of what I got so far. Basically, it's titled Thoughts on the Mending of the United States. The reason why I wrote this piece was because I watched a earlier video from one of the people I actually love to follow and listen to. He is a New York columnist that talked about how America, the egg, is broken, and it's going to be very well, not very, I should just say almost impossible for us to mend it. And he kind of talked about a little bit about how the Democrats is trying to do Project 2029, but yet Project 2029 doesn't really seem to be, how should I say this, addressing certain types of things that is happening in these United States, and addressing the actual broken pieces of what we're dealing with right now. And I agree with him honest. I agree with everything he said. I guess I just decided to write this because I just wanted to just also write out my own thoughts on the whole entire mending of the United States thing. So, yeah. Well, I'm just going to read what I wrote, and hopefully you guys like it. Or it causes you to ponder and stuff. I don't know. I don't know what reaction I really want you guys to have about it. I guess I just wanted you guys to listen. So, thoughts on mending the United States. Earlier today, I watched a video from a New York columnist claiming America is irreparably broken. The Democrats' Project 2029 proposes surface-level fixes, yet fails to confront the real issues posed by Project 2025. This is not just a matter of idealism versus pragmatism within the Democratic Party. It's a failure to take action on matters that actually matter, to take action on problems that matter. The core step forward for Democrats, independents, and all patriotic constituents must be to move beyond party divisions and focus on serving the people. Many Americans like me are tired of partisan politics. Our main goal should be to support representatives who work for the constituents and not for party interest. There's always going to be a Project 2028, a Project 2029, and a Project 2025, but the problems of all of those projects thus far has all centered on power and not people. The real crisis is that while average Americans suffer, political schemes distract from real solutions. Instead of granting true power to citizens, these people are offered only illusions, leaving farmers, families, businesses, and ordinary people to bear the consequences while the powerful redirect the blame, which they rightfully deserve. They gave you lofty goals, and one of those lofty goals they gave you was the belief that if you're just white, wealthy, and you have a traditional nuclear family, you're going to be happy. However, Project 2025's policies did little to enact measures supporting this ideal. You were told that Black African Americans were inferior to you, and that you were smarter and a know-it-all, and they're going to listen to what you said. Yet, when you voiced your concerns, you were dismissed as being incapable of knowing what you wanted. Complaints about gas prices were brushed aside. Loss of benefits explained away by blaming your work ethic. Rising electricity bills excused by claims about future AI cost reductions. Throughout, anger is redirected at groups or individuals rather than addressing the policies and the actors actually responsible for persistent problems. All they do is mislead you, keeping you frustrated and distracted, but they never solve anything for you. What actual problem have they actually fixed? What progress have they actually made to actually invest in your health care, your food, your energy, or your safety? The lie they feed you is that if you want to be safe, you have to be racist. But you've been racist all this time, and have you ever felt safe? Look around you. Is this what it means to be a great nation? Living in constant fear of someone taking your job, taking your house, taking over your life? Isn't it more freeing to realize that there are more good people in the world than they say there are? Doesn't it feel safer when you have social nets to catch you, your loved ones, your neighbors, if something horrible or drastic happens? Isn't it nicer to have a wider network of friends, family, and community than to narrow it down and become paranoid and disillusionment that everybody is after you? I don't know about you, but I think they sold you a pot of poo and told you it was gold. I think it's sad a lot of you smiled when you got it, because you realized this was probably all you was ever going to get from them. Project 2029 must aim for a future built for all Americans, now and tomorrow. We need a complete transformation, not just minor reforms. Only by breaking away from the old ways can healing begin for everyone. It will be difficult, but only through shared hardship will we be able to actually have true national unity and peace. Ultimately, our unity will ensure survival. But it requires collective change first. It requires us to sacrifice for one another, regardless of race or origin of nation, and truly learn what it means to be human and American. It requires us to break away from past habits by confronting them and naming them. It requires actionable steps to fix problems and confront injustices. Yes, it means there is ruthlessness and justice. We can no longer slap people on the hand for fraud or white-collar crimes. It means another Dodge wave has to happen to rid people who would rather live out their hate in leadership positions instead of doing what is best for the entirety of the United States and for every person under its banner. It means we will need to divest ourselves of certain thought processes and ideologies. It means we will need to hold people to a higher standard. Respect, dignity, transparency, and clarity must be implemented from top to bottom. Years no longer grant you the grace they once did. You cannot sit on a board or sit in a house of power of any sort simply because you are the oldest person in the room. If you can't do your job without hate, you can't be employed in positions of power. You either do your job for everyone or you don't have a leadership position, because your hate is a security risk we are no longer willing to tolerate or can no longer afford. That's the end of, section 1? I don't know.